is there. I can simply import other lists. I can export this list, so on and so forth. Let's not get there. The point is that there are these soft words that have been deleted. If I want to just close this tab, just go here and close this tab here again. I don't want will. I just right click that, add to stop list, or I can hide from word cloud. I can do both. Can you see this here on the right clicking? Please tell me whether you can see on the screen.
Yes.
Everyone right at the back?
Yes, sir.
I can add it to the stop list. I'm not adding it to the list because maybe later on it might be required. From here I'm just hiding it from the word cloud. This is it. Education is coming 691 times. Of course it is the education policy. If I don't want education because it doesn't give add to my analysis, because NMP to education rahega. So why should I use education in there? Hide from word cloud. School comes 236 times. Students comes 228 times. Teachers 146 times. Research 134 times. Policy 145 times. I can search in context. Search in context. Just search in context. It is, I'm showing, I can see it that in the page where it is appearing. Since it is a part of national education policy, etc., I may decide to display, delete some of those things. Or if I think that the policy is not a good word because it is appearing as part of national education policy, I can remove that as well.
Tool section we can select adjective. No.
Which one? Yeah, we can have list.
No, sir.
Which one?
Beside the three dots.
What do you want me to do? Yeah.
Edit के बाद ही sir.
ये वाला?
हाँ. Tools. उसमें parts of speech में जाके noun या.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So you can export this as an Excel form. This word list, it can be exported as a Excel list. It tells me that almost 1% of the entire thing has school there, or I can use the school to kind of code that as well. I can have that in a tree map, and that's, let's not confuse it, let's just keep it there. So I can, just have a, this can be exported also. This gives me an idea about the words that are been occurring many times. I can copy that to the clipboard and I can make codes out of that. But generally, exact words are not taken as codes, but this gives me an idea. Just by looking at the word frequencies, I know that इसमें क्या-क्या चीजें ज़्यादा बातें की जा रही हैं. Higher learning, अच्छा also we डाल देते हैं. This is just the first part of it. Does it make sense? Yes. There's a lot of AI as well. 13 tokens about AI, and you can find out where this document is talking about AI. So how do we do that? Right click. Search in context. Wonderful. AI-based software could be developed and used by students. So this is just a descriptive report about if you have to talk about certain things. You can just copy it and you can use that in your reports or whatever. Not the vomiting thing. Otherwise, of course, if you can copy in Word and all, it is possible to find and replace and all that. But here, we'll go many steps ahead. The first part, just to get a hang of what the words are used most often, just to get an idea of the entire document. If it is a transcript, you will get more idea about what they are talking about. Am I clear? The word cloud, is that clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So the word cloud, all of you, you can start working on those word cloud. See what the tokens are. Tokens means where they are appearing, what context they are appearing, etc., etc. It makes a lot of sense to understand this term Dr. USP because I have given my name. So if you give your name, created it will appear as your name. So it is like that. It gives us the location, I mean, the which para, which line and all, all those kind of things are there. So the last one is again not very important because this is from the glossary. That's not important. But other ones are AI-based technologies, AI value chain, this, that, and all. The first part. Right? We can get that as list. We can get that as some kind of a tree map and all that. Let's not get there. That is, we can do it there. Anyway, so what frequency is something that we have done there yesterday. I can increase the threshold. Only the ones which appear very high, they are there. Can you see this threshold here? That I don't want all the words, only the words which are appearing at least 52 times. Can you see this threshold here?
Yes, sir.
So the threshold tells me, see, if I want words which are appearing at least 100 times, I can put that threshold. These are the words which are appearing the most often. So with that, if I want to fine tune whatever searching and all, I can find out that most of the times, and this is important, that the NEP is more about school than higher learning. Most of the document is about school learning. And that, of course, if you've read the NEP, you know that it is about 5 plus 3 plus 4 and all those systems and all that. That's where it is talking about. It talks a lot about teaching. Anji? Research is there, yes. But school, school and schools, they are together. There are ways in which we can combine that. But I'm not getting into the basics of it. I'm just trying to show you, on the surface level what all this is. National is there because the national education policy, so it's not. If you want, you can remove that also. So this is what they are talking about. You have a list. You can export that and you can, start coding on some of these things as well. Am I clear? Yes or no? Please tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Because I want those which appear more times. And these things are appearing more times. At times I might want to see co-occurrence, schools and colleges together, or schools and negative together, schools and positive together, and so on and so forth. This appears very simple, and there are many simple word frequency tools out there on the internet. But this is just a starting point for me for better analysis. And the best part, I can use it in different formats. I can use it in a list format, and I can even export it on a thing. I can export it as a image. The word cloud, as you can see there, can you see this here? Priyanka, you can export that as an image. And I can use that as starting coding point. So the coding will have to be done by you. I'm just showing this to you the first part. I will ask you to do all different kinds of coding as I go along. So word frequency part is easier, and getting a list out of that is easier as well. You can get them as a list form, and this is it. And this list can be exported as an Excel format, or I can just copy it and because when I have it in the Excel format, I can do many other.
So from list we can export as Excel.
Excel.
And for what?
Word cloud as pictures. Very good. Sahi jawab. Is that clear, friends? Everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So the word frequency part. Now let's do something very important, which is known as the sentiment analysis. Please see here carefully. There is something known as sentiment analysis here. This is based on the manifest words used. They use a thing known as keyword in context. What those keywords, whether those keywords are positive, whether those keywords are negative, whether those keywords are neutral. Like all predictive applications, there might be problems. You will have to probably fine-tune that yourself. But it gives you a very, very good idea about what is the sentiment expressed in the entire document. Right? Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Very good. So let's do the sentiment analysis. Let's click on sentiment analysis. I'll have to click on to the document and then I will say continue. Because unless I say check which document I want to do the sentiment analysis about, I can do it for document groups also. Here now there is no document group. Can you see the second column?
Yes.
Can you see this here? Please tell me.
Yes.
Since the second column is nothing, there is no group there, it is showing me nothing. If you have groups, you can do that for groups as well. Find paragraphs that contain the following. So I'm using paragraphs. I can use other things also. I'm not using sentences. It will make it huge. So I wanted paragraphs. Jagadik answers your question. Very often we use paragraphs as the coding unit, right? We can use sentences, but that would be very unwieldy. And of course, every sentence will not have a sentiment. So by default, they're using paragraphs. Agree this unitizing everyone? Yes?
Yes.
It can be positive. It can be neutral, it can be negative. They are using a machine learning model and the detected language is English, so we don't have to change. As I told you, it works on Portuguese, Dutch, French, this and all, but for some reason we do not have Indian languages and there are, I don't know of any models, but it can be worked out. I mean, you can write codes on that, I don't want to get them. Let's show results. Now see here. On the left side, and this is, I will. Oh, thank you, sir. Do ask me, please. Please feel free to ask me. I would love to, repeat again and again. So, in the search and code tab on the ribbon above, there is something known as sentiment analysis. Then I click onto the document. Nothing I'm changing, I'm just pressing continue. All of you please see that on your screen and then show results. Did you get this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All of you, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ashika, you got it? Everyone there? Vismaya? Jayalakshmi is there? See, doing a sentiment analysis is fine whether we want to apply these codes onto a document or not. We can apply these codes onto the document. After sentiment analysis, all these things have been coded there. Can you see that? They've coded this as neutral, they've coded this as positive, they've coded this as positive. I can apply these proposed codes. There are two things. One is apply codes, which is about open coding or something that I can do manually. You will do that after this. Right now we can apply these proposed codes. Can you see this on the screen here?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes.
Let's see what happens. Apply proposed codes. We can only apply positive, we can only apply negative, we can only apply neutral, or we can apply all the codes. Let's begin with all the codes. There is no harm. We can always come back. We can always delete. We can always undo. That's what computers are for, right? Apply all codes. Now codes have been applied here. Can you see this here? This has been coded as neutral. This has been coded as positive. This has been coded as positive. But within sentiment, so the coding is sentiment, that is the higher order coding, the lower order is positive, neutral, negative. Let me show how. So did you get this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Shall I repeat this? Please ask me if you, this is done?
Yes, sir.
We have applied the proposed code. Did you get, everyone, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if you see this here, earlier there was no code here. Now you can see one code here. What is one code? The code is sentiment. If you click onto the triangle here, you will find sentiment. If you click onto sentiment here, see this here. Very quickly, you can find out that 58 paragraphs are negative. 132 paragraphs are neutral. 214 paragraphs are positive. Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We have the sentiment coded. Now look at the document, and this will make sense to what I was showing you in the video. Come to the document. Come to this page. This is the quotation. Can you see this on the screen? Come to the document. I'm coming to the document now. Where is the document? My original document. Where do I get it? Just the first one that we imported. The other one you can cross out. Just you can come to the document. Can you see the document, all of you?
Yes, sir.
And if you scroll down into the document, you can see that this is the quotation. This has been coded as positive. You can read it and add more codes there. How do you do that? Right click, apply codes. Can you see this thing? Universal high quality education is the best way forward for developing and maximizing. Developing, maximizing plans, policy, program, whatever. You can apply any code there. And you can click plus, it will be added there. I will ask you to do that exercise later on. Am I clear about that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear? First of all, you've coded everything as positive, negative or neutral. How do you know that? Just come to the document. See that? Every part has been coded there. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Just come to the end of the document. Just at one click of the button, you've coded everything. Isn't it?
Yes.
Just click this. This is the quotation. And this is the code. If I want, I can go to the quotation, right click. I can apply codes. I click it. I get this. Whatever code I will apply, I will put plus. It will be applied there. It will add to the code. Then I will group and all that. This is the second part of it. Am I clear about it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We have only done one coding now, which is sentiment.
Yes.
And the entire document has been coded. And what do I get from that sentiment analysis? What is the first instance?
It is positive.
Yes, mostly it is positive. Where do I get it? On the left side, on the Explorer, on the Project Explorer on the left side. Can you see this part here? Please feel free to ask me whatever you want to ask.
Yes, sir.
Sentiment, negative, neutral, positive. एक दो पे लिख दिया इसमें. Most of the expressions are negative. क्या क्या negative है? You can search here. What are the negatives? Come back to the codes. I can find out the quotations which are negative. I can in fact even download all the negative comments if I want. I can export it. I can export this document. I can print it, whatever. That's not the point. The point is just through one of its AI coding, I know this sentiment and the entire document coded. That's the easy part? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's come to the other part. So all of you can do sentiment analysis of any document that is given to you.
Yes, sir.
It's a matter of seconds. Sounds like big. Nothing is there. You're using the keywords in context and you're doing it. I'm doing sentiment analysis. If nobody knows that, oh my God, it's so important, they're doing such a great. No, brother, sister, you're not doing anything. The software is doing it. You have to, make more sense of it. Interpretation, yes. I mean, what are the negative parts? How much negative? Where negative this, that, or whatever? Because this is giving me a direction. Earlier for me, there was nothing. It was a blank screen. Now, I can make some sense of it. Someone can make sense?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's go to the other one. Where is it? It's all here. Search and code. Let's go to something more. Named entity recognition. Entity recognition. Now it might not understand all words as persons or organizations or whatever, but named entity is generally something which is a noun. It can be an organization, it can be a person, it can be a place or whatever. You can decide which of the named entity to use. Just like earlier, we could decide whether to use positive as our coding, whether to use negative as our coding, or to use all. Am I clear? Tell me yes. If there is a problem, do ask me. Now comes here, we'll have to probably do some more, decision making. The same step, I check on the document, I continue, find paragraphs that contain person, location, organization, miscellaneous. I don't want location, I don't want miscellaneous. I want person and organization. If you want location, you can have it. If you want miscellaneous, you can have it. In the document, where are the NER, named entity recognition? People in Divyashi's ma'am's discipline, they use all that very often, isn't it? They use NER and all that in the language models very often. In a lot of those so they are naming it as 383 entities selected. What are the ones that I want in my coding?
Sir, now the document has this index also. The index and all. So now some names are coming based on the index. Can we remove that index and then upload?
It is there, so I will not, it's not a quantitative thing. So I will not take that in my analysis. Let it be there. Even if it is there, doesn't matter to me. Right? Or before putting up the document, I can remove that index part and send it there. There are many ways there. Here also I can improve it. But we have to know what we are doing. So that's very, very important. We have to. So out of these 383 entities that are selected there, which are the ones that I think that I should use that in my analysis? So maybe I use curriculum and pedagogy. Maybe I use whatever. National mission. Academic Bank of Credit. Just take a few. Adult education. Agricultural universities, of course. One. Yeah, is that it? Artificial intelligence, aspirational districts. I'm just, Ayurveda, augmented reality, depending on my research question. Am I clear? You have to think about your research question. I will ask you about your research questions later on. Is this part clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
of exams. I'm just selecting it randomly, right? Colleges. If I want to talk about digital infrastructure and all that, I'll be including all these things. So let me see the results, what they're showing. Only those things I have only have selected very few things there. Can you see that? About organization and people. Is this clear?
Yes.
Shall I go back again? Please ask me. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Everyone. Now I can same way apply these proposed codes. So which one I want to apply? The ones that I have included all? Yeah, I can apply all. I have included these. All these things have been coded now. If now I go there, I can see that there are two codings now. Can you see this here? The codes, earlier it was only one. What was one? The sentiment. Now it is two. It's about organization and it's about sentiment. Some of these places, can you see this here? Can you see this on the screen? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is two different codes. One is national mission for whatever, the other is positive. At times, we will have to see whether these codes, there is a co-occurrence. Whether national mission and positive, they are co-occurring. That is for tomorrow. We're just telling you that, that is one of the ways in which we do the analysis. We have now only coded two different things now. One is a sentiment and the other is some of the organization and people. Where do I know where do I get the organization and people? From the AI. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And everyone, is it okay?
Yes,
sir.
Isn't it very powerful? Isn't it so very useful? We don't have to right now, we will go and do the next coding part of it. But doesn't it make sense that, it makes our life a lot easier now? Does it? Yes or no? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. So, we have done the named entity recognition now. Named entity recognition we can do only for people. We can do only for, let's do it once again. Named entity recognition, I can do it only for persons. It is showing me a lot of those things. See, for example, if I see only one matches here, doesn't make any sense. Ed is having 5 matches, so I will choose that. Can you see this here?
Yes.
This one, matches. Can you see this column? Is it visible to those at the last? Vismaya, can you see that? You're not even wearing glasses. Okay.
Sir, can we sort this? Like higher number to lower number?
Kunda?
The Manchester
You
sort.
click matches there, it's on. Higher to
Acha, this one?
Yes. Higher.
Ah. You can. So, Ed, Sanskrit, MHRD, Vallabi, Kendriya Vishwavidyalaya, Scheduled Caste, Kannada. Kannada is that twice. NCFE. We can take all these, click all these. Again I am saying, I am just doing it randomly. You don't have to do it randomly. You have a pathway. You have a guide. Your research questions, your hypothesis, your research objectives, which help you to decide which ones to choose. You don't have to choose all the ones with higher numbers. Even if it is with one number and if it goes with my research question, I will use it. Agree? Yes?
Yes.
Totally everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so now we can click here, create code groups from categories. Apply proposed codes. These categories have been coded in the code group. The code group is person. हो गया? Apply proposed codes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We have applied the code there.
Yes.
See, India has an extremely rich literature in other classical languages. So, Kannada is appearing only in terms with classical language. So, this helps us tell the report because we know the context now and what context they are talking. So, when I am writing the report, I will immediately write a comment there that this is what they are writing there in this kind of a. I can write a comment there that this is used in conjunction with classical languages. So I know the context in which it is used. If I write it now, later on it will be easier for me to write the report. Because later on I might not see the connection why I did this. So as I go along, I have to write down these comments as I go along. Agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You can just right click and do all those things there. Open means you can open it in the document where it is appearing. You can link and all is not. You can add a memo there, or you can apply a comment there. Memo and code will talk about the differences later on. You can even add a memo to this. Memo could be. I'll show you. I'll talk about memos later. I don't want to confuse you right now. So you can apply code here. You can apply in vivo. You can go for quick coding. Remember that? In vivo is about the words that they are using. In vivo is not a very useful thing most of the time, so I am not going to talk about in vivo. Quick coding, the last one that I used. Apply codes. I'll simply get this. Whatever words or phrases that come to my mind, I can use that for the word frequencies that I had at the beginning. I can add and I can click onto this plus sign. It's there. I can see the quotation in the actual document. I opened it and I can see that in the document where it is appearing. Just for context. Am I clear?
Yes.
This is the job of the computer software. To link, to show, to provide visualization, to do all those kind of things. Coding we know, and once we know that, these next third, fourth, fifth steps will be easier. Now if you see here, the codes are 3 now. Right? Organization, person, sentiment. Am I clear? And within sentiment, the lower order is negative, positive, neutral. Among person, this. Among organization, this. Okay? As I told you, coding is the first part of it. But once you coded the document, now you understand a lot more about the document than you did when just a plain document was there. But what questions to ask is very, very, very important. Am I clear? I am just doing one part of it. I'll ask you, all of you to do some other part of it and just till the end you do that, because I guess the code book will use after the lunch hour. It will be easier, otherwise because you'll have to do all the clicking and trying coding. concepts. See here. Document 1. Total code used 31. Total paragraphs coded 404. Just under this thing. I just cut out the document and just I come to this. Cross the document out, come to this page. This is what you get here. Is that clear? Beginning 31 codes. Here are the codes, here are the codes. I can have a look at those codes. It is a, this is there in a separate document here. All the negative codes are there. I can export this negative code into Excel. Let's not do it now. That's for a later time. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure, yeah, I will. I'm saying that from here, I can go to the codes. And if I want to do a particular type, I can set it. All the negative codes together.
Sir, we did all this for a paragraph text, sir. What if we change it to the sentence, whether the result will change?
Result will change.
Or
Of course it will change because it will be.
or else, sir, whenever a paragraph is used, a paragraph may contain positive or negative also.
No,
Then
which one is predominant? The one which is predominant will be done because the sentence might not always have a, none of them. So if you use a sentence, you might get more neutrals. That's why, because if you're saying, a paragraph by definition, or that's the default. But if you think that you have a document or you have a transcript where sentence-wise it might change, like yesterday, we did sentence-wise because all sentences were different. Remember that yesterday? You can do the same document and you can use the same document I shared with you yesterday and do that, those 9 sentences again. But again, it's up to you, your research questions, your understanding of it. If you think sentence works better, use sentence.
So what if we are using the huge data sets like 100 PDFs and we are doing the
Yeah, then you just select those documents, document groups.
Okay, sir, we'll do it, but the results will be huge. Then how do we classify or how do we verify those? Is there a quicker way for finding out or sorting out or filtering out?
Now see, content analysis has to be done with the objectives in mind. Am I clear? So there are certain places that, even if you're having 100 PDFs, but having, say for example, a content analysis of 500 newspapers, that would require you to read all those articles separately. Am I clear? Otherwise the computer, would tell you once, it is a good starting point, but then that's not the research. Am I clear? The AI programs are there, all those NLP programs are there to find out what is the context, what is this, what are the 5 closest words, this, that, whatever. You can write a Python program on that, there are ways of doing it. But then probably that would not be a good content analysis. That would not be qualitative research. Qualitative research by definition would depend on smaller documents. Am I clear? If there are larger documents, then you're looking only for some kind of things. For example, AI programs can be used to find out whether, and Google has always been doing it. When a Nigerian prince sends you a message suggesting that, I have 500 billion to share with you. Out of so many billion Indians, I found out you, so you share your bank account with me, and I will make you rich in one day. Google knows it's spam. It doesn't send you the spam. Right? So that is supervised learning. Right? So it's there. So then it is doing at a different level. There's unsupervised learning. They're clustering and doing all that. So that part is there, but that is not qualitative data analysis. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
It's all possible. Yes, ma'am.
But on simplification, you said like you said, 500 newspaper articles. And my problem is like, I want to see what is the water crisis.
I can search for that. That is
take
possible.
the papers
Uh-huh.
on basis of that and keep it. Then if I use AI coding, then
I can find out where water crisis is appearing. Anything closer, synonyms to water. 5 words before water, 5 words after water. I can code those parts which are there. That's automatic coding. That can be done.
that gives the numbers. But how do we?
That gives a number. That's what I'm saying. Then you go to those places and then you take that out and then you do coding and all that and etc. etc. So it's a 2 stages. First we have that huge thing. From that we extract closest synonyms or closest things to water, all that. We take it out. We extract all that, take it into another document and then do a content analysis. You can always do that. And that's always that. That's why I said research is a very creative process. Although there are firm boundaries, but it's a lot of our own creativity. It makes sense, Shanmu?
Yes.
I know it will expire soon. I don't want it to carry on after tomorrow.
So can you show me how, like, I want to export that quotations which have coded as organization.
I will do the exporting part tomorrow.
Only one code I want to export.
Let me put the exporting part for a later part. So I'm going sequentially because I'll put memos, I'll put networks and all, and then I'll come to that. Otherwise, or we can do that separately because for this I just want to code. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. That's one of the exercises I have for tomorrow. That's why I said that, when I go back and I plan how to do it. So that's why I created that code book and you find that very interesting because you will have to drag those codes. Right now everything is doing by themselves. I will give you a code book and I'll ask you to drag those codes onto the document.
Sir, after adding the code book, we are dragging from that code, but suddenly we
Think that there is another code. Apply?
we can add.
Of course.
Okay.
The entire choice is yours. Do whatever.
Then we can again export that
Yes,
code book.
yes, of course, that gets added to that. Yes. That's why computers are formed. Very good, we can do that. We can export this also, it can be done. It's all, but I want you to, dirty your hands and, otherwise, that's why it is hands-on exercise. That's why the entire effort of, doing it, over 3 days in person. Because we want you to get your hands dirty. So let's now do the other part. Some of those exports will be in a very not in a very cozy format, but at least you have something on your document and you can use it. You can just download, export codes into your reports and all. Datta Niranjan will see that. And your triangulation part, I'll put it on your group in lunchtime. So see what we've done. We've added 404 quotations. Means we have coded 404 paragraphs without breaking a sweat. Right? We've done sentiment, we've done person, we've done organization. Now let's search and code for concepts. Again, it's about keywords in context, what they understand, what they make sense of it. Now I can apply it separately here. The concepts does not give me that option of applying it automatically. I'll have to apply it individually. Because again, as you understand, this is dependent on number of all these factors. But at least it tells me that these are the concepts that are used there. And I can use that in my open coding. Am I clear? Once again,
Yes.
I can have that as a list. So it provides me with all the concepts and things exist there. Let's see about opinion mining. How does it work? So again, what are the opinions that you require, you know? For example, concerning teachers, qualified teachers, dysfunctional teachers, limited, local, outstanding, whatever. Then you can code each of them separately, or you can, you know, export these things also as a simple group. I will advise you not to make it too automatic. The opinion and concept I'm just showing you, but if you make it too automatic, then you stop working on that. So maybe stop at sentiment and named entity recognition and then do that coding yourself. Am I clear about that? The other things are just to help us to form that. Intentional AI coding and AI coding is done, but it's not very useful in a trial version, so I'm not doing that. And let's not make it too mechanical. As I said, it will be very, very difficult. As it is, you can always upload any document to ChatGPT and say that these are the research questions I wish to address. What are the possible codes and themes that I can look for in this document? So it will suggest you some ideas. You can take that as the starting point and then you go ahead with that. Or you can ask ChatGPT for, you know, what are the important concepts of this or that. Then it will. And I'm not sure whether the free version allows you to import. Does it?
Nowadays, 3 files we can upload for a day. Sir.
Okay. If there is anything needed, send it to me. I have a paid account, so I can do it.
Sir, can you show once how you get this in the chart?
It is there by default. It is by chart. Opinion mining you do, you'll get it in charts.
Oh,
Opinion mining.
Okay.
If you do opinion mining, it will take it in charts.
Okay.
So the first part, the easiest part is to work on these things. So we have worked all those things very quickly. So I just want to give you 5 or 10 minutes to just very quickly go through this, and then we'll come to the other part. What are those things? Word frequencies, named entry recognition, sentiment analysis, and just dirty your hands with concepts and opinion mining. So the time is yours now. So please work on that, and if there are questions, share it with others. You can come here and ask, or you can ask me to come over to your table and right? The same document, do that. If you can do some individual coding, please go ahead with that also. The code books will work in the post-run session. Am I clear? What happened? Not clear?
Yes, sir.
The breakfast was not sumptuous? You become protein deficient?
Sir, can we use other documents?
Yes. Of course.
So can we use it for review of literature?
Yes. To look for themes and all that. Many people do that.
And can we find out where that specific word exists? Like in this page, this
Yeah,
slide.
text search.
Yes, can we find that, sir?
Yeah, there is text search here. Here itself.
Can we find the path of that specific?
There is text search here itself. Text search. Search for whatever text.
So again we go with and
Uh-huh. I guess I have too many tabs open. See, in review of literature, there are many other AI-based software these days. Research Rabbit, Connected Papers, Elicit, all those things are there. So that will be probably more useful. But with this, you upload those texts and you look for those themes and all, and you can do that. Get my point? There are frameworks like the TCCM framework. You heard of TCCM? Okay, so I have a. Why is it playing tricks? I'm closing it down, right?
Sir, sometimes in some PDF files, it's not in editable format or that text is not
Get OCR done.
here.
Get no, they will not do OCR.
You
You
have
can
to do
get
SCR on this.
OCR and then. Are you working, friends, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Or just biting away your time? You can give search terms, synonyms or whatever. You can see, you can use and all that. You can use the inflected form also. And you can ask them to show the results. So everywhere they are doing it. I can now apply codes because I have got paragraphs. Did you see on the screen now? What I did was I'll just repeat it again. I did a text search on the entire document. Please see on the screen. I will choose the document and suggest any text. Digital. There are 22 synonyms. Are you seeing on the screen here?
Yes, sir.
Out of those synonyms, whether I should select some of them. Now this is in different languages. don't think that's useful for us. So we're not using those synonyms. We're just adding it. We're using inflected forms. For example, digitalize, digitize, this, that, or whatever, that will be added there. And I'm asking you to show the results. I can also use and, this, that, or whatever. Now I can code it separately. Am I clear? So for example, this is school. This has been added to this part. I have selected it here, but it will be added in the main document also. Am I clear about that? I selected a particular term, digital. It has given me 22 paragraphs which contain digital. Now those 22 paragraphs I am coding separately. Digital के साथ और क्या? Agree? You want to show again? प्रियंका आगे बार देखा वो? आगे बार देखा वो? ये देखो. Go for text search in the search and code. Regex is a cool important thing. If you can learn regex, it will be very useful, but it's more technical. I don't want to. Divashina, you want to do a class on regex? You want to take a class, small class on regex here? Now you select the document. You continue. You provide any search term. Any search term. What is that? Assessment. Spelling ठीक है sir? There are 94 synonyms in different languages they are showing. I don't want all that. English I can select all. Or no? Yeah, English I can select all. But then it would be, see all the synonyms. So many, 94 synonyms. If I only want to check some of the synonyms, I can do that. See, for example, evaluation. Right? Judgment. Appraiser. Can you see this here? Examination now they are not showing here. Anyway, just added 3 synonyms. Add, use inflected forms. Find all paragraphs that contain the 3 inflected forms of assessment with 3 synonyms. Show results. I have 40 paragraphs where assessment and its synonyms appear. I can code them again. Do that, all of you. Did you get the exercise? This is the exercise before lunch. Use any text search term to narrow down the paragraph and code those paragraphs according to your research question. Will you be able to do that?
Yes, sir.
Please do that. As I said, you can only get to know if you get your hands dirty with the things. Otherwise, everything appears very simple on a YouTube video. इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई?
काम कर रहे हैं.
What's your job? Use a text search term to search any important text from the document and code all the things that appear in the search term. বসো কাজ করো
আমার সিস্টেম কাছে শুধু সেন্টিমেন্ট অ্যানালিসিসটা হচ্ছে না
কেন
জানি না স্যার এরর দেখাচ্ছে অন্যগুলো হচ্ছে
সেন্টিমেন্টাল হয়ে গেছে
সেন্টিমেন্টাল হয়ে গেছে
You working, Sharma?
Yes, sir.
Navina sir, you working? Kadir, you here? You working or no? Search result? Shweta ma'am, Divyashi ma'am, are you getting it on the web version?
No, sir.
You're not getting it on. They're very simple. I mean, if it is on the cloud, it can't take in all the inbuilt models which are there. You want to use this? You want to use? You can sit here and use this if you want.
So actually we are using the installed version.
Oh, you're using the install version. Oh, okay. Three, university colleagues together, right? Please do go ahead, sir. I mean, this is wonderful. We've all been part of all these refresher courses, and that's the best part of it. Unfortunately, HRTC has stopped offline refresher courses. But I did my refresher courses all over the country. 2008 I did at Andhra University. 2011 I did at Jaipur. 2013 I did at Jamia. Then again 2016 I did at Hisar. So I went all over the country to do refresher courses.
Sir,
Hanji.
you have this specs now, then you should apply, click on apply course.
Yes. No. You go to each one. The plus here. Each paragraph. If you apply code, you apply the code and then you put plus. You can do that. If you want to apply school, I mean, if it is showing you something which already exists, then click on this thing. It will get applied. If there is a code which is already showing you on the drop down list, you can just click on to that, it will get applied. Right? Priyanka ma'am, কাজ হচ্ছে? Jyoti ma'am, it's working? Not working? I mean, are you able to do the coding and all? Yes or no? Yes? Post-lunch session will be a lot of hectic work for you because you have to apply the entire code book over the entire 60-page document. I'll give you the code book and I'll ask you to drop and drag and all. And then from later on we'll work on how to look at networks and all that. Tomorrow you'll have to bring your own documents. It can be small, big or whatever.
We are not doing R1.
Not doing this time. डॉक्यूमेंट अच्छे देखिए था
एक्सप्लोर हो जाता है।